Hello students, I welcome you all to session 3 of chapter 4, How the Traders Became the Rulers. Now before I start with this session, let me brief you about the things that we did in the last session. Now in the last session, basically I discussed with you about the annexation policy, then we looked into uh, the achievements which was done by Maharaja Ranjit Singh, Lord Dalhousie and the victims of annexation policy. But in today's session, I'll not be discussing with you about the policy. Rather, I'll be discussing with the reform system. So Lord Dalhousie was definitely an imperialist. He was very ambitious, but simultaneously also made sure that he also made some developments. So he made some strong reforms in India. So administrative reforms, social reforms, so various kind of reforms is done in railways, transport, communication, in all the areas of life. So we'll be discussing each of them, which was done by Lord Dalhousie, and we'll also see how the Britishers definitely they did it for their benefit, but how it turned out to be a blessing for Indians. So this session is also going to be very interesting and exciting. So let's get started for this session. Lord Dalhousie as a reformist. Dalhousie was great both in war and peace. He introduced a number of reforms which paved the way for the modernization of India and also earned the title Maker of the Modern India. So Dalhousie here is in a different role as a reformist. He definitely brought these reforms basically to expand the British Empire, but indirectly it also helped the Indians. So India was turned entirely modern by the reforms which were introduced by the Dalhousie. Westernization of India. Dalhousie's energy extended beyond the mere acquisition of territories. His greatest achievement was the molding of these provinces into a modern centralized state. His confidence in Western institutions and his ability as an administrator immediately led him to attain to the development of communication and transportation system. Now here we could see that Dalhousie wanted to expand the British Empire, but he could do so by bringing some changes and reformation in terms of communication and transportation. So Dalhousie wanted to make it more centralized state, and in order to make it more centralized, better technology and better means of communication and transportation is very necessary. So in order to bring changes in that regard, he decided to bring a new revolution in terms of communication and transportation. So in order to expand the British Empire and to make administration more easy, he decided to bring some changes and development in transportation and communication. Reforms made by Dalhousie. Now, the first reform that he made was in railway department. He started the first railway line in Bombay in 1853 during the time of Lord Dalhousie. The next year, a line was laid from Calcutta to Raniganj coalfield. Post facility. The basis of modern postal system was laid during the rule of Lord Dalhousie. In 1854, the modern Indian postal service was started by Lord Dalhousie. In 1854, a new Post Office Act was passed. Under this system, a Director General was appointed to supervise the work of post offices in all the presidencies. So, Dalhousie was the first one to start the postal services in India. In 1854, a new Post Office Act was also passed, under which he decided to appoint a Director General who will take care of all the post offices in all the presidencies. Public Works Department. A separate Public Works Department was established by Lord Dalhousie. The chief work of this department was to construct roads, bridges, and government buildings. The chief engineer, other highly trained engineers were brought from England to supervise the work of construction. So Lord Dalhousie started this department in order to make sure that there are good roads and bridges so that the internal trade can be carried out and they can also earn a lot of income and which helps in expansion of British Empire. Social reforms. Dalhousie abolished female infanticide, which was prevalent among the Rajputs of higher castes. He also abolished the practice of human sacrifice practiced by the Khons of Orissa, Madras, and central provinces, who had blind belief that the fertility of the soil would be increased by sacrificing human beings. So most of the social evils that was prevalent in our country was abolished by Dalhousie by implementing strict laws. So this was the phenomenal work done by Dalhousie. Electric telegraph. In 1852, Dalhousie introduced the electric telegraph system in India. The first telegraph line from Calcutta to Agra was opened in 1854, covering a distance of 800 miles. People could send message from one place to another place very easily by this telegraph system. So this telegraph system was very beneficial to Britishers in helping in exchanging messages from one place to other place. So it was basically for their benefit for the administrative purposes, but it also helped out the Indians in many ways. Now coming towards the end of the session, I'm sure you learned something very new, especially the reforms done by Dalhousie. Now it is very important for you to revise these reforms because it is one of the important part of the chapter. So you'll have to explain the reforms initiated by Lord Dalhousie. So you can just go through these sessions and write down neatly all the reforms which were done by Dalhousie. Now in the next session, I'll be starting the fresh chapter, lesson 5, that is natural disasters. So we'll study about various kind of disasters. For the next session, we will just take earthquake and volcanoes. So it's going to be very interesting. You will learn something very interesting about these disasters. So you can also start collecting information on these topics so that you can enjoy the chapter more better.